Until recently, college athletes could not be compensated beyond scholarships, but the National Collegiate Athletic Association, or NCAA, changed that after a June ruling by the U.S. Supreme Court said such policies violate antitrust laws. Now, American student athletes can be paid under a rule known as NIL, which stands for name, image, and likeness, for things like autographs, advertisements, or merchandise. But the rule's impact on international student athletes isn't clear yet.
I mean, I don't get the difference between international student athlete and American besides nationality. But at the end of the day, we all humans, all athletes. Like, I don't get how your nationality should play a role.
Student visas held by players like Terrence Fall, a native of France, limit how much foreign students can earn. If the football player at Brigham Young University profited from his NIL, it could jeopardize his visa status to remain in the U.S. Immigration attorney Rob Seeger has advised universities and athletic programs. He says international student athletes should handle the new rule with caution.
Really be careful about it because, a lot of players come here. They're not only here to gain their education, but, depending on your sport, eventually maybe get, looked at, drafted, and moved to another piece. You just don't want to do anything to impact your future in the short term.
Sports attorney Dan Lust says if an international student athlete receives payment, it could impact their eligibility to play and their immigration status.
I think it's a very slippery slope, and anytime you don't have the answer to a question and your eligibility is at stake, potentially your status to stay in America is at stake, I think you stay clear of these things.
Fall says he is confident that NIL rules will eventually allow international athletes to be paid, but plans to move carefully if he is offered a deal.
I would talk to them and then see what are my rights and what I'm able to do, and then if it ends up saying that it would affect my playing of football, then I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't put no money over football.
Universities have been unable to offer guidance because the position of the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services remains murky.
They just don't know what the government, meaning immigration, is how they're ultimately going to come down on this.
Lust says all students, domestic and international, should be careful when considering an NIL deal.
So nothing is set in stone, and you really should be questioning everything that you sign and really assuming nothing.
Connor Smith for VOA News, Washington.